We're just checking different doors in this house to see if anything's sagging. And before I do that, I've just been checking these hinge screws. And you know what? I've not done anything to this door yet. And all three of those, you see that? They're all stripped. All of them. Look at that. All three of those. And these on this top hinge look fine. Now, that's holding this so far, but after a while, after a little bit opening, closing, eventually those screws are going to get loose, they're going to back out a little bit, and then the hinge is going to start pulling away. The hinge is going to start pulling away, tilted this way, and then that's going to make this door sag, and then it's going to start rubbing over here. So if you have something like that, it might be something as simple as just replacing some certain screws. Other times it's not. You look at my channel, I've got different ways on fixing sagging doors, okay? That's where I'm kind of putting this video together too. See, it looks like there's one questionable one right there, see? And so I'm going to have to get more screws. Yeah, that one was loose. It was sticking way out, but it went in tight. And sometimes if it sticks out, it could hit the backside. It could hit the backside of the hinge when the door closes, depending how much of a gap that is. And then that could throw things out of kilter too. Okay. And I'm going to guess this top one. Nope, it's okay. There's a slight hairline crack on the edge of the door right there, and right down there where they put those two screws in. Whoever did it, it cracked the little side stile just barely. So I may have to put some caulking on that before the painters come. I'm just looking at this door, and with this nice step ladder, I can get up on 6 foot, 8 foot tall doors. I can look at the gaps and stuff. That looks, actually it looks pretty good. I can't, if I get it up this way any further, it's going to hit the top. So, and I looked on the side, I got a nice reveal on the edge. You want about 3/16, maybe an 1/8 to 3/16 or so on your gap. And I look down here, the gap looks pretty good. This door looks fine, except that I've got to replace some of those hinge screws. You want to take one of those hinge screws out, and I took some extra ones out some other doors. Take it to the hardware store, get some longer ones. Okay, well, I'm going to try that, and then that should fix. And you want to get long ones. You didn't watch my other video. You want to get long ones because your door jamb is only usually only 3/4 of an inch. If it's an interior door, 3/4 of an inch door jamb going all the way around, and then you usually have a gap between 1/8 of an inch to 3/8 to ½ inch before your 2x4. They do that when they frame your opening so that they got enough room in there to install shims behind everything, and whatever gap is left is left. Your door casing is going to cover all that, but you got a slight gap in there. So when you get a screw to replace in the hinge that's loose, you've got to go through 3/4 of an inch of wood plus that gap before you hit the wood 2x4 that's holding this up. That's the frame 2x4. Okay? So remember that when you go to the store, you've got to get screws long enough. And then if you do, you're gonna have to make sure. I was gonna say pre-drill your holes. But your little drill bit is generally, they're not 2 inches long or whatever. They're probably a little bit shorter than that. So you could, if you pre-drilled your hole, all that's going to do is go and drill through your 3/4 inch door jamb. Then you can take your screw and go through there, hold your breath as you put the rest of the screw in, and hope that you don't strip the head out of it before it gets into a wood 2x4 that's 30 years old. That you put the screw in, and the screw doesn't get in there all the way before it strips your head And then you have to take it out, put another screw in there. Take that one out, put another screw in there. Put a long sheetrock screw in there, ram it in there, and then take it out, put your other screw in there, and you could do something like that. And because the last thing you want is to put it in there thinking, okay, I can go, I'll just get my electric drill, I'll just get my battery operated drill, and I'll ram the rest of that in there. It's only a 1/4 inch. You strip the whole head off, and you have a hard time getting it off. Or worst case scenario, you think, you know, Joe just didn't press hard enough. I'm going to press harder on it as I drill it in, and then you break the whole head of the screw off. I've done that too. So then you've got the broken screw in there that you've got to take off, take the door out, take the hinges off, take everything off, and then try to back that thing off with a pair of pliers. Hold your breath just right, because that screw needs to come out in order for you to get the other screw in there. You know what I mean? So just, there's things that you got to think about when you do projects on your own. And you can do it. You know, you learn as you go. The only reason why I know this stuff, you know why? Because I've had all of those things happen to me already. Well, that's what I'm trying to explain to you and show you on my videos. My loss is your gain, or my knowledge is your gain, or whatever. You see that, hey, if Joe can do it, yeah, you know, he's just a normal average Joe. But you know, if Joe can do it, I can do it too. I can save money just like Joe. So remember that on your projects. I don't know if I'm going overboard with some of this stuff, but this is the same door I was working on. There's just a little bit. I'm just going to do it a hair. Okay, I can live with that. And then on these, I've got the type of, I'll take this off. I've got the type of door stop. I really like these door stops. These are the thicker ones. See how it's this angle or this diameter, and then it tapers out to being bigger? Well, this one I saw a gap right there. And on these, I know I didn't just install this or anything. This is the first time I've touched this, but this door stop is probably 17 years old. But I know if I just tighten it up, it'll go tight, see? And the reason why I know that is because, see the type of a door stop it is? You install that first, pre-drill a hole right there, screw that in, it's got a little groove on there. This goodie right there fits right in there, and then you just tighten it up, okay? So, as I go to each one of these doors, I'm just kind of tuning them up per se on the ones that aren't really sagging. I'm just kind of looking at them. There's another thing that I'm going to do too, or I'm going to show you that on a separate video at another time. So you're going to have to be watching about that. You're like, what's he going to do with it? Show us other things on that door. I don't know, but you know, I'll show you when the time's right. Just going to have to keep watching my videos. Okay, so I've worked on this door here already. I just checked this door here, this bedroom here. I checked that door, and I also checked this closet door. Okay, so I still got some more doors to go, and I know this particular door coming up, I've got to do some work on this door, and I'll explain that to you in a minute. Then I got a double door that I'm going to look at that. I think I have to do some actual work on that. There's some more doors. So, you know, one step at a time. And I'm doing this because we're getting ready to paint this house, and all the doors and frames are going to be painted. So I want to do all this stuff first. If your place is already painted and stuff, you know, you can do this. You can do all this stuff at any time. You don't have to wait for anything. You may have to move a few things and get some things out of your way and all that kind of stuff. But these are things that you can do at any time. And this particular door that goes in this bathroom, why do I have to fix that? That's coming up on this next video, by the way. See how it's rubbing right there? And see there's hardly any space there. So once they paint, it's already tight. You see that? Now there's a slight gap there, but that should be that same gap all the way up. Look at that, it's almost touching right there. And see up there at the top? It's almost the same. Now there's a way I'm going to fix that. All right? if you want to know how to do that, stick around, keep watching my videos. Now because these doors are 8 foot tall, you know, you don't want a little dinky step ladder. I ended up deciding to get a 3-step ladder at the store. I forget which place I got it, Home Depot, Home Base. Might have even got it at Target or something. See that? It says Costco, C-O-S-C-O. It's a nice one because the other thing I like about it is the steps are wide. If you get one that's little like this, we had a step ladder that was small little rungs. I thought, forget about this. I ended up throwing that away or gave it to Goodwill or something. I didn't like it because that's an accident ready to happen. As you step down on that stuff, you could twist your ankle or whatever. So you get the 3-step one with the handle up here, and you can stand way up high on that thing. You can still support yourself. I've seen, you've seen the 2-step ones, and then it's got this deal, and it only comes up about like that. So if you're going to get a step ladder, you might as well get a nice one, okay? So think about that next time you're at the store.